whispers.
Yeah, so the thing is, I think there have been comms that we on the... Okay.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Yeah, that's just perfect for our last game of the day.
You had to hit us with it more.
Tactician's crown, baby!
Yeah, so that's happening. I wanted to say that I think we had a lot of comms not being happening on the broadcast lobby. Like, for example, we haven't really seen a legend game on broadcast, but I know that it has been played by Selvey, for example. He did really well with it. And I think Norum as well. We probably also had an Elise reroll at some point during today. I will check back later with all of the results. I haven't done that just yet, but that's a game that I would look forward to, just seeing that Whisper, Siphon, Elise reroll. It's super fun. And we haven't seen a full Kane reroll yet, even though that's more of a meme comp. It's very fun, so maybe we'll see that from someone. I don't think so, not in this lobby, but we are seeing the Mirage come in with Warlord's Honor.
I want to see Volibear.
I want to see
I just
Nidalee.
want to see...
But it's not going to happen.
You want to see Nidalee again. This man... Actually, David, you know what? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You have no idea how proud of you I am. Finally, you said you wanted to see a composition that is objectively, like, not good this patch. You finally made it. I brought you over to the dark side. Can we get a Tristana reroll?
Please no. Please no. No Nidalee reroll, no Tristana reroll. I will allow a Kane reroll if that happens. Diana being picked up by Electro here very early on is going to sell her off, doesn't want to go with her. But in come the first augments. I was scared a little bit here because I thought it was going to be a triple prismatic lobby. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to jinx it, but it is a gold augment as first one.
David, she doesn't want us to have our fun. She doesn't want us to have...
I don't want to have this one either. Iberia, don't include me in your shenanigans. I'm with Nick on this one. I am a competitive player. I like low variance, silver augments, no Tactician's Crown starts.
Fine. But we're stuck with at least the Tactician Crown. Y'all can't get rid of that for me.
Unfortunately not.
We unfortunately cannot get rid of it. But yeah, it will be defining for this lobby as players will be able to get comps online just a lot quicker. I'm curious if that enables more reroll comps in general, as you're able to get them a little bit quicker with like actual trades. Don't necessarily think so, but after that scale scoring game, my world has been rocked. Maybe that's another thing we're going to be seeing.
A quick review of the players. We didn't really have a chance to go over the lobby itself coming to this final game. We're going to have two Turkish players, Electro and idlemonkk, who we saw in game 1, is now in this final lobby fighting for a spot in day 2. Two Spanish players that I mentioned, xusOo and Emperador. We have Zrobjson also in that game 1 we saw at the very start of the day, is now here in game 6 as well. Arrow, we have all from Greece, and we also have joshychan, who was a devastating finish in that game 5 and is going to hope to completely turn things around coming into this game 6.
So I actually want to talk a little bit about Zrobjson, and not just because I'm a huge fan. Augments are coming on the left side of the screen. You can look at them. But Zrobjson actually had a horrible day today. So in general, his placements have been bottom 4. It hasn't gone well. He did get a second in round 4 and went straight 8th in round 5. So that's where he is right now. He's in this lobby here trying to get at least a top 2 or a top 3 to make it through to tomorrow. I would really wish for him to get that, but so far the trend has been very rocky roller coastery.
Well, we see the trainings coming out here as well, or rather the augments coming out. One of them that I'm very excited for, Emperador, going for... I butchered that. I'm so sorry, Panda. Going for trade sector. Look, I'm American. I know Chinese and English. Let me off the hook. I know 2 languages. That's impressive for Americans.
You can call him Emperor. I'll give you that.
Emperor. Okay, thank you.
I will continue to butcher the Spanish pronunciation.
You did way better than me. I feel like, by comparison, you are a native speaker at this point.
But yeah, I love seeing Trade Sector. It's one of my favorite augments forever, just because it's so fun to play with. I love seeing Emperador picking this up. Also, joshychan on a statement augment as first augment once again. He did pick up that Shimmer Scale Hard, and last time we saw him he did pick up Guild Hard. I'm not sure if he generally likes going with these hard augments when he's being offered them, but yeah, Shimmer Scale, maybe another Shimmer Scale game.
We saw it from xusOo in that game 4, the 9 Shimmer Skill angle. We also have Arrow, who picked up Hotshot, so another player that is kind of locked into one specific comp all the way into the late game. You don't really want to lose, the chance for that augment to help you out, unlike Scapeus has done in the past. So ideally, he's going to probably stick to Cannoneers throughout this whole game.
And now, as we see Zrobjson heading into this competition, he's sticking with a little bit of Jade here, and we're seeing it across the board. Luckily, I don't think we're going to be seeing the Ezreal reroll, even though Emperador has Trade Sector. Do you think this could be, in any world, a Karma?
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it. I knew you were going to say, don't say it. It's not going to be a Karma reroll, and it's not going to be an Ezreal reroll. Those times have passed. The 80 scaling on 1 stars has, or on 1 cost, has been changed. It's not a thing. Stop trying to make it one. It is a phase. We're over it. I don't want to see it anymore.
Stop trying to make Karma reroll happen.
Yeah, no, I'm not here for it. If that's where we're going, I'll be happy and I'll cheer him on, but I don't want to go there.
But it will be under great duress. Got it.
Exactly. But yeah, carousel did happen. Players were able to pick a little bit of extra. xusOo notably
early Nico in the
with
shop.
That ancient tome, has a Nico in the store, has now used that tome and is trying to see where to go with this. What are you thinking, Panda?
Could be a Jade element. You can go kind of vertical Jade, but doesn't really have anything else other than that Karma for the Dragon Mancer right now for Jade. Early Nico, though, is very strong if you have any kind of, shapeshifter combination, especially if you pick up an early Gnar, for example, for Jade 3 and Jade for 2. For now, just going to slaughter in because, Nico is just so strong at stalling out and applying some CC early on into stage 2.
Yeah, definitely. Super nice to see here. We did see that Jade emblem also being picked up and slammed, allowing xusOo to go for the 3 Jades. And I heard you say it, Matt, and I had to step in. It's not Karma reroll on the other side. It's not.
No, but it is a Karma with items. I was just going to say the Archangel Scepter. That's... no idea what you're talking about. No. Okay. But we do have that Lee Sin here for xusOo, and now that the Jade has been picked up, it's almost certainly not going to be in that direction, but in the early game, it should give him quite a bit of board power, so should be able to bridge him into the later stages of the game. Arrow is the only player in this lobby who could 100 streak into PvE, and we're seeing why. Already has Trainer with a Tristana with items and a Sona at 2-6.
Wow.
Pair as well, so very close to a massive power spike, both for the damage carrier with the Rage Blade already slammed on Tristana, and also allowing that trainer to scale even faster, that novelty to level up even faster if he finds the 2-star as well, and has Hotshot. This is the player we talked about, is stuck, for better or for worse, on Cannoneer for the rest of this game.
Yeah, but for now, that'll do him really good. He is able to find that early win streak. He is able to stabilize on 100 HP, which is always nice at the beginning of a game. Of course, would like to get that economy up a little bit if we are comparing Arrow against Zrobjson. Of course, Zrobjson on the Zrobjson special, just loose streaking, not leveling, still on level 4. Classic Zrobjson move is trying to get the economy up and then work with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you want to tell us what you think about that, join the conversation, hashtag TFT Rising Legends over on !Twitter. But we will go into Crooks, and we're going to see how Zrobjson's Jade comp does so far. He's still on level 4. Of course, with that Tactician's Crown, does get the 5th unit in here.
Very surprised
CTA.
to see him losing so much HP, considering he has slammed what are considered very good early game items, or just pure stats with Locket and the ZZ Rot. Has Salvage been, so has a chance to just remake these items later on, so just doing it to try and lose HP, or rather not lose as much HP, although he's doing the opposite again in this game 6. We saw it mix in game 1. He went all the way down to 30.
That's so long ago. I don't remember.
HP at the very start. Stabilized, but then still ended up 6th. So I think he's hoping for a very different result here. And I think you mentioned earlier, he doesn't just need a top 4. He needs maybe a 2nd or even a 3rd place at the very least to make it to day 2.
Yeah, it's something we have been seeing from him forever. It feels like he has been doing that in set 6. He has been doing that in the EMEA finals. He has been doing that in our previous tournaments. He just feels very comfortable at low HP, which is something I can respect because I get super anxious, but he's just super comfortable there. So hopefully, other than in that first game that I choose to forget about, he is going to turn it around here and he will find an angle where he can stabilize and strengthen this board. May it be to augments, may it be to units that he finds. We are seeing players across the board finding those forecasts really early on, the Nico and the Sona. So maybe that's an angle that he can go to.
It was really interesting there to see him change his mind, because initially he had sold those items and was not slamming any components, started this round without anything. Then once seeing AUG's board, said, wait, maybe I should actually win this round, and then immediately slammed Hand of Justice, ZZ Rot, and Velocket once more.
Pivotal moment here for Zrobjson needs to find direction with this augment pickup. Has a lot of gold to work with as well. Level 6.
He is refusing direction.
I imagine some bit of roll down here, or just going to decide to continue losing for a little bit longer.
We are over on xusOo's board, who is still thinking about it as he has his augment options open. First one was the Ancient Tome that he picked up. He did get a Jade emblem out of that. This will be a reroll for xusOo here, and he does get Second Wind and Ascension. Both of these are generally very popular with players, and he needs to choose something now. No rerolls available anymore.
Second Wind and Ascension, both going to be good generic augments to pick up, especially if you're going for the Jade angle with xusOo, with Nico, any amount of extra HP or extra damage because you're able to stall out fights usually with sustain from Jade is going to be good news for xusOo as well. And xusOo's a player we've seen playing xusOo and Jade a lot today.
Man, I gotta say, it's a shame that he went for Jade, because this would be just great for a Lee Sin carry game. He's got the items, he's got 2 more Lee Sins in shop. Not gonna go for it though, obviously. Dedicated heavily to this Jade as we're seeing a polar bear get kicked into oblivion.
And Emperador very healthy as well, 96 HP, streaking, and has that trade sector which guarantees he will continue to be stable all throughout. Doesn't have to really do a full roll down and just roll every single turn and keep hitting those key upgrades to kind of just withstand this kind of a threshold where he is at 90 plus HP.
It does seem to me that Emperador is committed though. He's already got the other 2 legends on bench. I was expecting those items to be transferred to someone else because they are not like best in slot by any means for Volibear, but considering that he's holding the other 2 major units for that composition, it looks like he might actually be sticking to it even with those items.
Yeah, maybe we can check in with Emperador in the next round. For now, we will be over. Oh, there we are. Quick thank you, production, and we're going to see at how this looks. So like you said, it is on the legend angle here, faces off against Zrobjson. With that trade sector, I feel like you can really get away with a good legend game just by getting those automatic shop refreshes. Of course, did get an additional board strength by picking up the item components, and yeah, that Volibear looks scary.
Have a much higher chance at finding those 3 stars. Also, very interesting bit of information from Emperador. He started off today streaming his perspective. After 3 games, not the best results. He ended up cutting off his stream, saying, "I'm going to focus on myself and just focus on my own game and not get distracted." And is now in contention for that day 2. So would be a great comeback story from the Spanish player.
We love that. I mean, not if I don't want to say we love when they turn their streams off, but we love when players focus, okay? Don't misquote me. I can see it, chat. But yeah, really, really great to see them go up here. And Emperador, definitely one of the players that has been doing quite well in the last 2 games. Hopefully he can keep that stream going in-game at least, and then maybe celebrate later on his own channel.
Very good. Get that host afterwards.
Zrobjson is doing a direct cosplay of his game 1 self down. He has 3 more HP points than he did in game 1
Oh my God.
at this point.
Wow.
He needs to hit some upgrades, and that he
did
has
hit an
done.
upgrade.
Did he not just do the exact same thing he did in game 1? Was it not also a Shyvana Nico board that he found with I believe it was. This man is playing the same exact game he played at the very start of his day 1.
You know,
Wow.
folks, here's the thing about teamfight tactics. No matter what position you're in, the advice remains the same from Zrobjson. Just hit.
You have to
If
slam
you are
items,
struggling, just find a Shyvana.
Slam those items, please. He has so many components on the side of his board here. Will the sheer unit power be enough to take out the enemy board from xusOo? We can see the Shyvana in the background wrecking mayhem as she takes out everything, and it will be enough. He can hold on to these components, no biggie. He's fine, and that was an amazing roll down, really.
Well, the thing about here has the Reforger as well, so really has to consider exactly what route he's going to go down and what items to slam, thinking about the late game as well. Can't make any mistakes at this point. Even though he has Salvage Bin, he doesn't want to maybe sell off the units he's going to be slamming items on, so has to be still very careful. Has time now, though, in this prep phase to really think about it, or even in the PvE round if he needs more time and wants to wait to see what other components he gets.
He looks pretty committed to going for this Swain reroll. He did find 2 in a single shop, so there's the chance that he's going to stay on that because he is level 7, 40 HP. Maybe he's figuring, hey, just stick on level 7 until I find that Swain 3 to fully stabilize, and then hit the late game, then add in that Xayah, then focus on the Shyvana.
Early Aushin from the Greek player here as well. The front line isn't quite there yet, though. Only Leona 1 star at the front.
And an open spatula as well on this board. Interested to see where that goes in later stages of the game. That is one spooky bear in that front line.
In comes the lightning rain from that Aushin, but it won't be enough. The bear still stands, and Augie is going to take a loss here, even though he has that Aushin early on.
I'm wondering, as we get into the late game here for Emperador, yes, things are going fantastically right now, but he doesn't have a QSS on that Volibear. The later we get, the more CC units are on the board, the more CC is going to be hitting that frontline melee carry. And I'm starting to get worried that that's not going to be enough to carry. So maybe he needs to start looking for that Anivia as well, but he has no gold to work with.
We are seeing the general gold on the economy tool right now, and yeah, Emperador looks like he has the least gold out of all of them. AOG also down with 17, followed by Zrobjson with 21. You can also see the general level of our players. They're all between 6 and 7 for now, but should be going to 7 quite soon.
And joshychan, again, similar position to last game, hits level 7 now, has a chance to roll down and maybe stabilize, but Zrobjson and joshychan, it seems like all day long we've seen them in this position, 7th and 8th, all throughout stages 2 and 3, and then hoping to just pray and these desperation roll downs to stabilize in stage 4, and sometimes not quite able to achieve it.
Going pretty well so far, though, I gotta admit. Already found a couple of 2-star upgrades. And with the Diana and Olaf, looks like it's a scale scoring game, but I don't think that's enough upgrades.
Do you know what I hate? This is a flashback from Golden Spatula Cup number 2, and he did win, but he also played with 1 augment down. joshychan currently not making any use of that Shimmer Scale Heart that he picked up as first augment, as he does not have the Shimmer Scale 3 trait unlocked. I think right now he's prioritizing that scale score and trait of 4. But even that won't give him a win here. So he's trying to find an angle where he can actually have both, and it doesn't look like it's coming to him.
Final augment choice might do it, though, as we get here into 4-2 of the last game of the day. Unfortunately for joshychan,
would have loved some kind of spatula. Assassin Olaf would have been a completely different comp, emulating what Hecker was able to put together in that game 5. But in this case, it seems like we talked about it. There's the scale scoring comp where you don't really have anything that stands out. You don't really have anything extra, and the comp just doesn't really do enough. It just kind of falls flat, and that unfortunately seems to be the case here for joshychan. Not quite close to hitting those 3-star upgrades either, and not really that much gold to work with.
Yeah, we are seeing the overall augments come in, and you wanted to mention Zrobjson, yeah?
Yeah, I was just going to say that he's setting up still for this Swain carry. Got another item on that Swain with the Giant Slayer. Once this drops, I'm wondering if he's going to pick up an item remover on the Treasure Dragon, because he does still have that option. Once he hits a Xayah 2,
he has one.
There we go. Can use this Swain as a transitory unit. If he hits the Swain 3, fantastic, keep the items. Otherwise, they go on the Xayah.
Yeah, exactly. So why would you want to lock yourself into itemizing that Xayah 1 when she doesn't do as much or is easily killed off, when you could just go with the Swain? Either he has a replacement on the board with the Xayah, or he's going to hit it on 3-star. So either way, he is fairly happy with what's going on right now. Would probably like to, of course, get over those 50 gold to get the econ back and running and try to hit more, but it just comes naturally for some, you know. Nico 2 being found here by Zrobjson in the natural shop, and we can see that Idle actually rolled down all of his gold. Is rolling still.
For Zrobjson to slam those items on Swain is because he has Salvage Bin. He wants to be able to sell those items on Swain and make the best possible items when he has all his components at the very end of all the PB rounds going to stage 5.
6 Whispers for Guardian for Idle happening right now. No gold to work with anymore, and 1 copy short of that Siphon too. I really like this comp.
On the other end, I'm actually liking that composition as well. Aoshin Stan, notably, the Mirage is going to help him a lot there. If this Aoshin can ult, that's going to be a problem for idlemonkk.
It's a big if considering how long it's taking with just the auto attacks, no extra attack speed, no Shojins either. The ult does finally come through. Will it be enough? Almost. Siphon gets taken down, but Thresh and the tanks can do it. It's a close one, but finally Aoshin gets taken down. Needs just that little bit extra more of attack speed or some way to get that ult off coming out faster.
Oh, does anyone have an open spat? No, they all slammed it. Tragic. joshychan will pick it up. That's Assassin Olaf, though.
It should be. If he does have a crit glove. So beautiful, very, very huge pickup for Joshy, being able to get that Assassin Olaf running. He was on 3 Assassin last time we saw him, so this will enable him to go for 4 and also have, of course, the AD scaling Olaf as one of them. Hopefully allows him to stabilize and get in there. Let's have a look at joshychan and his board. Currently Electro here on the 9 Jades with Ascension. Beautiful, goes for a Shyvana pickup, however, but yeah, I'd really like to see Joshy and how his board does now. He is on an 8th loss streak. This is huge. He also has that scale score and augment from the tome that he picked up, but can he stabilize here? Down 1 augment with the Shimmer scales, only playing with 2 active augments. Can he find a win?
And Olaf 3-star is a little bit too far away. Has 1 duplicator, maybe can go for Diana 3-star, but Olaf still needs quite a few more copies. But the Assassin makes all the difference. We saw with Spoiler Tiger. Olaf jumping into that backline allows him to hit those carries much earlier on. Right now, stuck on Braum though, and that's not going to be good news. Redemption and Sunfire slammed to this Braum means that Olaf will be distracted for most of this fight. Has attack speed with RFC, but not really that much extra damage aside from his own scaling. And Siphon, I think, will have enough to take down this Olaf. Or
that's a thick Siphon.
Oh, it's so close.
The extra Guardian did provide just so much shield on that idlemonkk Siphon, but in the end it was the Assassins that were able to find a win here, and that's so big for Joshy. It cannot be overstated how much he needed this and how much he needs more of these if he wants to get further in today's tournament. We are getting word from our observer. Thank you so much. Currently, Joshy's Olaf has 9 charges, so an extra 45 AD.
To put into comparison, there was 84 AD on the Spoiler Tiger Olaf last game and an extra IE built on him as well. So a big difference in the DPS coming out from these 2 Olafs. And of course, it's still 2-star in this case, not 3-star Olaf yet. So despite that, Tristana does get deleted here. A few more carries in the backline getting deleted there as well. So maybe just quite enough for stage 4, but gonna have to find the Olaf 3-star to really scale into the late game, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that you can keep this board going past... I mean, I'd say even early stage 5, you're going to start having trouble, but joshychan, for the first time this game, has stabilized, and that cannot be overstated at this point. 27 HP, 26 rather, as AUG takes a loss down to 22. He's no longer the person at the bottom of the lobby.
He's looking for something very specific here. He did have the option to go with Frozen Heart, which is generally not a bad item to go for with Scales Corns. But he wants something else here. Goes with the Thief's Gloves and what could be a Last Whisper for now. Let's see where he takes this before we go to a different board.
Couldn't try and reforge for the sword. Wants to build IE with the assassin already onto this Olaf. Has the glove already, so I think the double reforge on the glove, or on the bow rather, is going to be the best possible option.
One copy short from that Diana. Oof. Does go with the Nico's duplicator though. I know it's not called that anymore. Champion duplicator. I'm sorry.
We'll see if he ends up trying to go for the sword off of the bow. Has double reforge, so has a chance to do so. Not going to have a chance for any more components this game. And it will be the case. One more roll. Doesn't find it.
No.
So he knew the risk. He knew the risk he was taking to try and get some extra gold and not continue rolling on the treasure dragon.
He rolled twice and ended up with the exact same item he started with. You hate to see it.
There should be something in the game to prohibit this, but maybe that's just me. So
we got it added for the Living Forge. We got it added so it no longer. That was the Rising Legends game with the triple Zonias.
Tough positioning xusOo onto the Olaf. Will it be enough? It looks like it's going to be the case. So unfortunate that xusOo just turned around right as the fight started. Olaf jumping on the wrong side of the board. Anivia was on the right side. And I think this is going to be a big loss here. Diana not doing enough with Last Whisper, not really a best in slot item. A massive loss, and I don't think Josh is going to have the time to find the Olaf 3-star.
Now he's just going to be able to find the second 2-star here.
Let's check in with AUG because he also is down to single-digit HP. Currently on 7. Joshy notably is on 9. We just saw him. So both of them are down there holding hands far away from the rest of the pack. Can they turn it around? This is the board that we're currently on. xusOo for AUG and the Mirage that we currently have. Warlords, of course, you can see it under the Nunu and the Leona, as well as the Mirage xusOo. How do you feel about that one?
Interesting. It does give some extra stats to the xusOo, but I think the biggest thing is just the survivability of the front line. That's all xusOo needs at this point. Doesn't really have the best items. No attack speed means that he's going to still have a pretty slow rate in terms of getting this ult off. And especially when the Olaf is right onto this, joshychan, I think he's going to survive one more fight because he had some really great positioning here. And AUG had to pay a bit more attention to that assassin player, especially because it might just be a blowout loss because of it.
That's gonna be...
that xusOo was offered on a silver platter, and you hate to see it if you're in the corner of AUG. You can see him spam some thumbs up here as he gets knocked out 8th in this game, which means he's probably not going to make it to tomorrow. Of course, we're going to look at the standings later on. I can only tell you what I think, and I'm not a good math brain, so don't take my word for it. But most likely, that's an out here. Now, Joshy, he did find a win against AUG, but can he do it again against whoever he's facing next? Zrobjson finding a Swain 2. I'm waiting for the Swain 3 notification, but it's just not showing up. And
Emperador has hit Volibear 3-star. Finally.
And he's got the items as well. He found a way to get actual best in slot items onto that Volibear, because remember before he had Giant Slayer Hand of Justice BT. Now he's got the QSS. The Zephyr.
The bear is in the air, and that's not where you want to see him. Swain and Shyvana raining down the fire onto Volibear, and I'm not sure if he has enough in him to survive this fight. Swain is targeting only this one Volibear, and Shyvana looks like it's going to buy enough time, plus the anti-heal on the Morello, but Bloodthirst is still doing its thing. Volibear is starting to hyperspeed here. Is going to be enough. Swain and Volibear both attacking each other, but unfortunate, the Zephyr really sealed the deal in this fight.
joshychan is being knocked out 7th place here in round 6, last game of the day as we go into the carousel. And there are some tasty options in this carousel for the players as they walk around trying to decide what to go for. The Morello being hovered by Arrow as he snacks it from Electro and Emperador, who both wanted it. Emperador still in the middle of this round, doesn't know what to go for next, and Zrobjson picking up that Dragonmancer emblem.
Quick reminder, the players coming into this lobby were from 17th to 24 in the standings, essentially meaning that to make it to day 2, they had to put up a fairly good result. I'm going to say top 3 or top 2 to be really safe, maybe top 4 in the case of players are 17th or 18th or 19th. So 7th and 8th, I think, is pretty much, you're eliminated at this point for joshychan and AUG, the Greek player. It's just not going to have enough points to make it to day 2. You have to be among the top 16 to advance to day 2.
Emperador now, with this board, has itemized that Anivia as well. She's going to be very strong in that backline. If he can get her 3-star, I think this board will do well, but she gets hooked. And that might be the end of her for the time being, but this bear is unstoppable.
Yeah, he is smashing into that Siphon and barely losing any HP. Of course, the Siphon on his side will take out the Anivia, and it seems like it's a battle of giants here. The Soraka in the background did allow for one more heal to assist her teammates here, but that Rage Blade just keeps stacking up and stacking up. Maybe the Siphon takes him out here, and he does. Emperador only survives with 1 HP.
So I was kind of wondering why that board from idlemonkk was doing so well. Apparently, I am super underrating Guardian Siphon. That was absolutely disgusting. Lived for ages.
If you think about it, Siphon already has the damage built in with his ult. All he needs is survivability, and Guardian gives him that.
Gross. Just disgusting.
Yeah, I think it really is that Guardian emblem with 4 Guardians. It's just super, super strong. But let's see how it goes. And
oh no, the 2 Spanish players.
Up against xusOo.
Oh no!
They are going to fight it out.
This is the last one for their life, and now Volibear trying to tear away at this front line, but xusOo coming through the back side will be able to take out the opposing front line, but the bear is unstoppable. Now, carry on carry action as Volibear drops down to half, stunned once more. No CC immunity left. Bard finds the ultimate. Half health. Volibear doing everything he can, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Half health. xusOo lives, Emperador falls. An arrow, 1 HP remaining on the cusp of top 4.
The Emperor's reign has ended, and that is one Spanish player that, unfortunately, for all Spanish viewers and fans like myself, will probably not be making it into day 2, despite almost making a huge comeback in these last 3 games in this day 1. xusOo does still have a chance at 18 HP, and Arrow also joining the 1 HP dream team, it looks like, or at least a team that wants to have the dream to stay alive for just one more fight to get just 1 or 2 more points in the placements.
That Bloodthirster, really good item for that Siphon, though, will allow him to have a little bit of extra healing in that front line and give him just a little bit of extra sustain, being insta-slammed here by Arrow 1v9 as he finds that Silas 2, another upgrade to that front line. So important with the Sona, and the Corki in the backline was looking for Sona 3 maybe, but did not find it as he rolls down his entire bank account here down to 2 gold. Not much to work with now, looking to position that Shroud of Stillness on the Sona, but xusOo saw it, so let's see if he can do enough here as he sneakily positions the last time around, and he is going to meet Electro. The Shroud of Stillness goes in onto the Soraka. Zephyr takes out the Siphon, but will it be enough? The Corki is scaling up, and the Siphon has arrived in the backline, will chomp at the Anivia and take her out, while Corki does the rest. I don't think that xusOo can do anything here, and Arrow will live 1 more round.
Really good play there, hoping to just get that one Silas out of the way and immediately open up a path to that backline, to that Sona and that Corki, but Namzi took the hit instead and got the attention of the xusOo as she was walking up to that backline.
That was just a xusOo won that entire time.
Zrobjson hits the Swain 3-star, and big shout out to Zrobjson. Flawless execution, lost streak to 40 HP, hits Shyvana and Nico, and doesn't lose a single fight since then. I think it was 3-5. We're now at 6-2. That's impressive.
Yeah. 13 rounds in a row, and he's angled for level 9 as well. We see now Arrow's last chance to stand against xusOo, who just hit that xusOo 2. It's Dragon versus Dragon to decide the round. Siphon finds the safety in the backline as Corki fires away, and xusOo already down to half health, but not being focused. But too little too late, as xusOo, it does not matter. Arrow survives one more round, as Electro may do the same in his 1 versus 1. No, that's going to be xusOo taking it down.
Top 4 though, so Arrow manages to claw into the top 4, similar to how Zrobjson got there, just barely making it in after being at the bottom of the lobby. Does find the Zoe too here, should be a big upgrade to his board strength, hopefully. And Idle and xusOo, of course, are up there as well. It could be the end for xusOo, it could be the end for Arrow if they lose the next round, so let's see how it goes.
You mentioned Zrobjson had a pretty bad placement coming into this game. He needs, I think, a first even to make it to day 2, so definitely in contention for it now.
Yeah, and xusOo will meet Idle here. Idle has nothing to worry, so hopefully xusOo can make it through there. There's an enemy Siphon clawing at the backline once more on the side of xusOo. He is probably worried that that Siphon is going to take out the Anivia, and that he will, but on the other side of the board, he actually doesn't. The Siphon charges away from the Anivia, allows her to stay alive, allows her to keep on blasting into that Siphon, and xusOo turns it around. He does find a win here. However, Arrow getting knocked out 4th.
Down to our top 3 here, and idlemonkk really wants this win, as does Zrobjson, who has not been having the greatest day, like you mentioned earlier on Makes. There was a strong chance for Zrobjson to get knocked out here, but now he's made it top 3.
Bias.
Exactly, caster blessing coming in huge this time, and it looks like Zrobjson very likely going to make it through now that he's reached that top 3.
See, they didn't give me a lobby with a German player, so they gave me Zrobjson instead that I could hype up, and that I did. Perfect. Hopefully he's driving it home. He's qualifying for day 2. No biases, of course, but yeah, of course. Find some upgrades here. 50 gold to roll with.
And as with every HP leader we've seen today, they're doing a very good job of leveraging the lead in HP and in board strength and trying to preserve gold, trying to go level 9, a few rolls here and there to try and stabilize a little bit more, but still going to be greedy until maybe he gets 1 loss, and then going to go level 9 and find his final upgrades to try and win out. And he needs to. He's at 18 points going into this game 6. He needs to get the best possible results to try and be safe for day 2.
Now, this front line's dangerous. A little bit of trouble here.
The game. That's a game we need to be watching, because if xusOo can't find a win here, it could be very dangerous. I'm not sure he's going to survive that. So hopefully he does something here, but it doesn't look... Oh, it does look like it. Okay.
idlemonkk now low. So xusOo versus idlemonkk seem like the ones that are going to drop out, because Zrobjson seems to be pretty much unkillable. I was really excited by this board, Panda. But now it feels like the Guardian Siphon has kind of run its course.
You have gold to work with still. I think he's in a tough spot where you don't know if you're going to make it into the next PvE round. We're on stage 6. You take a lot of damage for a big loss, especially against Zrobjson, the HP leader. But you're caught in the middle between having enough gold to go 9 and find upgrades, and just rolling down on 8 and not really having anything meaningful to improve your board with. So we're going to take the risk here. We're going to sit on 56 gold going into this last, what could be the last fight.
All right, here we go. Shroud starts in the center. We see that Swain pop off in the corner. That's going to be the key here for Zrobjson's comp. And the Swain just tearing through the front line of idlemonkk. Sure, the Siphon is still up, but watch the rest of the team evaporate under the fireballs of Swain. He takes him down, and idlemonkk will fall.
And that guarantees first and second place for Zrobjson and xusOo. I'm going to have to guess.
Zrobjson actually finds another win against xusOo. xusOo manages to hang on by the skin of his teeth, basically. 6 HP left as we go into what could be the last board upgrade that they get. xusOo with the static shift, and Zrobjson getting the redemption here. Redemption, really a little bit of extra tankiness for that Nico and the front line. Nice to have. On the other side, that static hopefully allows to get a little bit of extra damage onto the enemy backline. So both of these pickups, pretty nice, pretty good. So let's see if they are enough for xusOo to turn this around.
All right, coming into potentially the final round of the game. idlemonkk, or sorry, xusOo on just a sliver of health. idlemonkk dropped out in third. xusOo still rolling, cannot find anything to upgrade this board any further. Meanwhile, Zrobjson rolls all the way down, finds Shyvana 2, finally.
Yeah, that's just such a big upgrade for Zrobjson. I'm not sure there's anything in xusOo's power to turn this one around, but we'll try and have a watch and see how it goes. The Shyvana, of course, is going to walk in before she transforms and lifts up into the air. The Dragon's Descent is going to come crashing down on the entire enemy board of xusOo as the Swain just keeps on ramping up. There is nothing xusOo could have done here to prevent this. Zrobjson takes the last game of the day.
Very impressive performance from him, and really showcasing how in TFT you can get maybe a little bit lucky, have all these upgrades, win streak, and do well, but you can also put